Tennis club called Mbale Tigers Tennis Club. It's the best club in Uganda, as you may be aware. Mr. Jjagwe is signing off as the UTTA president. He's saying maybe by June. I'm one of the candidates. I have declared my candidature here, but even on social media, I've already declared, and I hope that the voters who come in the elective general assembly will consider me to come back as president. Because my term of office was cut short maliciously, and as I've told you, one of the people who was involved, he apologized to me. Even the president himself invited me back to work with the UTTA as his vice president. So I've been having that urge and desire to complete my term of office. So I'm supposed to have served for 4 years, and I'm now requesting that since I served only 2 years, I could serve another 4 years to compensate for the loss I made. For your information, I'm one of the...
Isaac Bageya. I'm a Musoga. I come from Iganga district. I am one of the directors of Table Tennis Kids Uganda, and I am here. I'm running for the president of Uganda Table Tennis Association 2025. For many years, table tennis has been only in Kampala and in Mbale. But I am the reason as to why table tennis is in Busoga. Busoga has many districts. We need to be moving table tennis to many districts, even beyond Busoga. Meaning I'm in there for table tennis to be everywhere. Let everyone play. Table tennis is for everyone.
Mwanga. I am the director at GMS School. I have formally announced my candidature for the presidency of the UTT Association 2025. I believe I am one of the most capable people out there because I played the sport at the highest level. I am a businessman who is running a business successfully, very well educated, but also very articulate and a very principled person.
You can tell us about a short profile of this.
Running a school requires you to be a team player, and all associations are only able to run with a leader who is able to run a team. I am one of those people who will be able to manage the Table Tennis Association very well because of the skills that I've gained as a businessman for the last 10 years.
Mr. Jjagwe has hinted on the tentative qualities of someone who is interested in taking over from him. How many of them?
I am one of the most passionate people. In 2022, I held a kids table tennis training clinic for 2 weeks, but I also had swimming, badminton, and all those. I'm passionate about sports. Number two, in 2024, 2023 or 2024, I flew to Ghana just to support our national team of table tennis, to give them support. And during that time, some of these world players came from those tournaments.
Assembly was supposed to be an elective general assembly. But the problem we have is that our constitution must be amended to align with the New Sports Act. Now, the New Sports Act wants 50% of all districts to be part of the election. Now, the statutory instrument that is supposed to guide us on how to make sure we are in the districts is not yet even signed. But we could not afford a leadership vacuum by going beyond January when the AGM is prescribed in our constitution, when that matter is not resolved. That's why we called the AGM. But then also, we need to have an orderly election with clear rules. Then the other issue is that the money to organize this election is going to be a humongous amount of money because now you're bringing 75 districts on top of your member clubs. So we are talking of an AGM that is not going to be less than 150 people. So the AGM is going to be an enormous thing. We must have the money for it. Now, the other risk that you run, if you risk to organize an election and 50% of the districts don't come, and that election is null and void, that means all the money you've spent to organize it is wasted money. You have booked the venue, but the delegates didn't come, and then the AGM is null and void. So that means the money is gone, and you have to look for new money to organize a new elective AGM. So these are the reasons why we had to postpone this election. The statutory instrument that should guide us on how to be in the districts must be released by the government. Then also we must have the money to organize that election. Then also we must be careful what type of delegate comes to the elective AGM to avoid creating problems for the sport. People who know nothing about table tennis, they have no idea, but they've come to vote. These are things we raised in our meeting at National Council of Sports, so we expect that the statutory instrument will address these matters. I told my members, the good thing we have produced an AGM report, and that report we have shown what we have done. I've been on media houses non-stop, almost every after 2 weeks. So the new president must continue with this advocacy, especially for small sports like table tennis. Well, we are not exactly still small anymore because we have world champions, Africa champions, medals, but we are not yet as big as football, maybe as big as rugby. So we need to continue our advocacy. So the new president must continue to advocate for money to come to table tennis. And the good thing, we have softened this for the next coming executive by passing a budget of 1.5 billion. And remember, National Council of Sports had already allocated us 1 billion. How it went back to the small amount of 265 million in Parliament, we don't know, but National Council had done its job and we've thanked them. So we hope National Council again allocates us good money, 1 billion or even more, and then we pray that this time Parliament will approve the allocation by National Council of Sports because it was good. For example, we must build an arena for our players to be able to play. Without money as high as 1 billion, we can't do this. So we need this money. We hope Parliament, now that we have world champions, you know, athletics has a world champion, one, Jjagwe, and you're giving them 3 billion. Table tennis has 2 world champions. Now, how much do you want to give us? So it is a bit segregative. We want National Council of Sports' allocation to be respected by the people who finally approve these disbursements of money. And in good faith, we are not complaining. And of course, to answer your question better, I'll be around for consultation. Whenever they want me, I will come and I help them. Wherever they want me, I will help. If they can manage, there is no problem. I know they will ask me maybe for 1, 2, 3 months until they have settled in properly. But I hope the next president is as aggressive as I am, because me, I'm very aggressive when I'm looking for resources for my players, because that's why I am the president. I'm the one to look for money for the young Sebatin leader who can't even talk. I'm the one. That's my job.
Of the people who have expressed interest so far, do you have anyone that you're likely to endorse? Can you name them?
I think it would be very unfair at this stage to start endorsing candidates. I think it is very unfair because there are people who have come to the AGM. I think we need to give delegates to assess for themselves. But for me, I've given 4 parameters for the next president. But it is just my advice. I don't want to force anyone. I have said, if you have an incoming president who has some money of their own, you will be safer because government is giving you a lot of money. If you bring someone who has no money, do you know what will happen next? If they misuse your money, then what will you do? Then the sports will get into financial wars. But if you bring someone who already has his money, if you bring someone who has like 1 billion on their bank account, they will not touch this 320 million of table tennis. It is too little to them. They've come to run this sport for passion, not for money. So I've advised them that bring someone who has some money of their own. Then number 2, bring a well-educated person. Don't bring for us people who stopped in P6, S4, S6. Bring a university graduate. Education is very key. And then number 3, bring someone who has passion for table tennis. They love, like me. I love what I do. I love what I have been doing. Then number 4, the last one, bring someone who has time for this sport. These people who say, but for us we are just volunteers. Please don't volunteer in our sport when you don't want to give it time. If you say you want to volunteer, you can volunteer in your other things. But this is a national sports association with players who depend on the leadership for help, resources, money, tournaments, time allocation, etc. So the president must have time for this sport. The people who come for these positions, then later on they are not doing work and they say, but I'm just a volunteer. Please, we are requesting them, if you don't want to give our sport time, don't even volunteer. The AGM, because they have allowed us to handle the Andira matter, they have given us at least 30 more days because, like I have told you, despite what people think, me, I'm not a warmonger. I don't like fighting. And I've given the reason. Sometimes when it is the big people who are fighting, but the innocent young children, they suffer when you're fighting. So I'm happy that the AGM has resolved that we don't fight. We give Andira 30 days to respond to these matters, or to bring our money, or to bring the payment receipts, bring the balls that you got. You ship balls, then you distribute them without even our knowledge. Actually, we don't even think he has distributed them. We think there's something else. But we have given him 30 days. And I'm happy that the AGM, because some people say, do you terminate him now, take him to the police? Well, we said, no. Let's give him 30 days to resolve this matter amicably. I'm happy that people love peace. This is the most important thing that has come from this AGM. The people have said, give him 30 days to resolve it amicably. So I'm requesting Andira, please look for us and we resolve this matter amicably. We don't want to fight, we don't want to go to force, but the delegates have spoken. This is their money, these are their balls, you can't just take them like that. So be careful, come to us and we resolve these matters.